Sunday and welcome to Sunday School Simplified. If you haven't joined us before, this is where we take our Sunday school lesson and squeeze it into a short, sweet video that is good for all ages. We are in our second week of Advent. Last week we talked about peace. We're doing a series called Almost Christmas. It follows the principles of John Wesley, who is the founder of Methodism. And this week's theme is hope. And it's called All Together Hope, just like last week was All Together Peace. And I was reflecting on last week's while I was preparing for this week's, and I was thinking about it because we're doing it a little bit different this year in a way that you might not have heard before or that you might think of. And I think it's really cool because, like with peace, we also talked about anger, but this week with hope, we're also talking about despair. Now, what is hope? Ask the kids to write it down, draw it, and it can be something they hoped for Christmas, or someone hoped that their family was happy. And then I asked them what despair was, and they have an even harder time because it's like, what even is despair? And we use words like desperate, depressed, sad, hopelessness. It's the opposite of hope, right? And then to draw that. And Ellie drew the devil, which I thought was brilliant because when we lose hope, when we start to get in the depths of despair, that is the devil at work, right? Taking our focus off of Jesus. And we played music, and Joy to the World was playing, and it just sounded hopeful. And I said, see, this is even a way, like, not only are we talking about hope, what is hope? It's ways that we can have hope, and then also when we have despair, ways that we can combat that and hold on to our hope. If you want to follow along in the scripture, it's from 1 Peter chapter 1, verses 3 through 8. And it's talking about when Jesus was resurrected, like such a hopeful experience. But I said, let's backtrack a minute. After he was crucified, even the disciples lost hope. They were full of despair. People stopped believing. And then it wasn't until his resurrection that they found the hope. And that's the key. It's we look to Jesus for hope. And I asked them, what was the first way we ever looked to Jesus for hope? His birth. And that's why we're doing this. That's why hope is a part of Advent and that preparation for Christmas and the birth of Christ, because he was that first moment of hope in the New Testament. Like, God showed lots of ways that we could look to him, and he created hope in awful situations. Like I said, music, like if you're so desperate and down and sad, if you listen to music, it can give you hope. If you help others, even if when you're sad, just go out, like force yourself to help someone, and then the hope will come. You can see other people helping others, and that could fill you with hope. I was recently filled with a lot of despair, especially after both Ellie and Eli got hurt 2 days apart from each other. And Pastor Mary said, go up to the chapel and find my hope angel. You can borrow her. Didn't know what she looked like, but as soon as I saw her, I knew. And this is perfect for today. Hope is a literal light in the darkness. It's the opposite of despair. Hope combats despair. But as that light, we have to have the faith in Jesus, in God, to open our eyes so we can see it. Because if we don't ever open our eyes, we're going to miss it. We won't see the light that brings us the hope. Open your eyes to ways of hope this week. I challenge you, if you're feeling despair, there's plenty to go around. Listen to music. Go out and help someone. Look for the light